Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to do something that's super practical. We're going to upgrade your restaurant English, helping you sound way more confident, a lot more polite, and just completely natural the next time you're dining out.
You know that feeling, right? You're in a restaurant, you know exactly what you want to say, but you're worried it might come out a little too direct, maybe even a bit rude. It's a totally common feeling, especially when you're just trying to get your order right in a language that isn't your first.
Well, that's exactly what we are going to fix today. We're going to walk through some really simple, elegant upgrades that will give you an instant confidence boost. We're talking small changes that make a huge, huge difference in how you sound.
All right, let's start our journey to becoming a confident diner. It all begins right at the front door.
Okay, first up, here is a tiny but really powerful shift. Swapping I want for I would like. Or even better, just I'd like. See, in English, I want can sometimes feel a bit demanding, almost like a command. But I'd like, that instantly softens it into a polite request. This one is a total game changer.
Here's another little pro move for you. Now, we are 5 people is perfectly correct. There's nothing wrong with it. But saying we're a party of 5 is just the standard phrase. It's what you'll hear native speakers say, and it shows you're comfortable with the specific language of dining out. You starting to see the pattern here? The real secret is turning a statement into a question. Instead of just stating what you want, asking, "Could we have?" is such a fantastic strategy. It's respectful, and it makes the staff feel like they're helping you, not just taking an order from you. Okay, so you're seated. Awesome. Now it's time to tackle the menu and place your order with total confidence. Let's do this. Give me is incredibly direct, right? But just like before, framing it as a question, "Could I have?" completely transforms that demand into a polite request. It makes the whole interaction so much smoother.
Oh, this one is my absolute favorite. What do you have is so broad, you might just get a list of everything on the menu. But asking, what would you recommend today? Now that is not just polite, it's smart. You're inviting the server to share their expertise, maybe point you toward the daily specials or their own personal favorites.
Seriously, this is a true power phrase. It shows you're engaged, you're interested, and you actually value their opinion.
So you've made your decision. Instead of just "I want chicken," try saying, "I'd like to go with the chicken dish." That little phrase, "go with," is such a natural and common way to state your selection. It sounds decisive, but at the same time, wonderfully relaxed.
Okay, what about special requests? Well, it's always better to frame them positively. "I don't want spicy" can sound a little negative, but if you flip it to a question like, "Could you make it less spicy?" you're being constructive, you're collaborating with the kitchen, not just making demands.
All right, the food has arrived. But hey, the communication doesn't stop here. Let's talk about some key phrases you can use during the meal itself. Now, hopefully this never ever happens, but what if there's an issue with your food? How do you bring it up? Well, saying "this is bad" is pretty direct and a bit confrontational. A much better approach is something like, "This doesn't taste quite right." It's softer, it's less accusatory, and it opens the door for a solution instead of a conflict. And on a much happier note, what if the meal was amazing and you're just incredibly full? "I ate too much" is fine, of course, but if you want to sound more natural and friendly, you can use a super common idiom. "I'm completely stuffed." Yep, stuffed is that fun, informal word we use when a meal is so good you just couldn't stop eating. It's a perfect piece of casual English to have in your back pocket. The meal was a success, and now it's time for the final interaction. Let's make sure you finish the whole experience on a high note by paying the bill politely and professionally.
So instead of the direct command, "bring the bill," the absolute gold standard is, "Could I have the check, please?" And here's a little pro tip. In American English, check is way more common than bill in a restaurant. Using it will help you sound just like a local.
Okay, this one is subtle, but it's really important. The difference between "I will pay cash" and "I'll pay in cash" is just one tiny little preposition, but that little word "in" makes a world of difference in sounding natural and fluent. It's one of those things that just clicks.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground today, right? From walking in the door all the way to paying the check. Now it's time to put all this amazing new knowledge into practice with a fun little challenge.
So, if you boil it all down, it really comes back to a few key ideas. It's about swapping that direct "I want" for a much softer "I'd like." It's about upgrading commands like "bring me" to polite requests like "could I have?" And the master strategy is so simple. Ask, don't tell.
And that brings us to your mission. The next time you go out to a restaurant, or even just grab a coffee, your challenge is to use at least 5 of these new professional phrases we've talked about. Just 5!
Just 5 small changes to see how it feels. I absolutely promise you're going to notice a difference, not just in the positive interactions you have, but in your own confidence. So what do you think? Which one of these new phrases are you most excited to try out first? Happy dining!